Okay. Jim pays income tax, a universal social charge USC and pay related social insurance PRSI on his gross salary. The standard rate of income tax is 20% and his higher rate is 41%. Jim has monthly tax credits of 275 and a standard cut-off point of 2,733. His gross monthly salary is 4,800. How much tax does Jim pay each month? Now, the first thing you're going to calculate is what's called gross tax. Gross tax takes place in two different ways. It's your standard cut-off point. That's how much of your money you're going to pay at the lower rent. So you're going to pay that much at 20%. However, you earn above this amount, you actually earn 4,800. So 4,800 minus 2,733 is what, guys?
2,067.
2,067, and you pay that at 41%. Can somebody tell me what 20% of 2,733 is, and can the next person tell me what 41% of 2,067 is? So go for it.
847.
For which one?
2,067 is 847.47.
847.47. And the other one?
54660.
54660, yeah? Add the two of them together, and this is how much tax you're meant to pay. Your gross tax. So what you get? 1394.07. Okay? This is your gross tax. Now, there's a deal with gross taxes. You're not going to pay it all. What's the part we don't pay?
Tax credit.
Tax credit. So take away your tax credit, and what you get? Take away a tax credit of 275.
1,119, 7 cents.
There you go, 7 cents. Okay. Jim's monthly USC and PRSI contributions amount to 449.22. After all deductions are made, what is Jim's take-home pay each month? Okay. So you have 4,800. You gotta take away tax. You gotta take away USC, and you gotta take away PRSI. So, do you have a question to ask? Alright. So 4,800. Take away the tax you were meant to pay, which is 119.07. Take away your USC PRSI total, and what you get for that number? Three, two, 171, is it?
No, 71.
71. And there you go, part B. So part C to this?
Yeah.
Part C. Now, Jim is planning a holiday to New York. He has budgeted to spend no more than 1 month's take-home pay on his trip. Given that the rate of exchange is €1 equals 1.2736 and the bank charges 2% commission on the exchange, how much in dollars does Jim have to spend? One month's take-home pay, yeah? So Jim is going to invest €3,231.71. 3231.71 euro. Okay, let's convert all that to dollars. How do we do that? Is dollars going to be a bigger number or a smaller number? Why is it a bigger number? Exchange rate. The dollars number is always bigger than the euros number. So multiply by 1.2736. What you get?
4,115.91.
91?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stop there then, yeah? Now, this is that's if he got 100% of his money back. Would you agree with that? If he got all his money back, it'd be that much there. But as it turns out, he's only going to get 98% of his money. So you can do this two ways. First way you can do it is you can find 2% and take it away. I personally like to go direct to 98%. So what I generally do is I divide by 100 to find out what 1% is, and then multiply by 98. Or simply multiply it by 0.98. Get 98% of it. So 4115.91, get 98% of it. 4033.59. Nearest dollar. 403 dollars. That's easy enough. That was actually very standard. Yeah. 403.59. Round it up to the nearest dollar. So I round it upwards. Next question. You alright? Okay. In preparation for the 10k Ladies Mini Marathon, Mary is starting a new training program. She plans to run 1.5 kilometers 4 days this week. Each week she then plans to increase the distance she runs by 0.5. We're going to assume that's 0.5 kilometers per run. Is that alright? So, as in, she's going to be running 1.5 kilometers a day, and then the next week she's going to be running 2 kilometers a day. That make sense? Yes?
Should we just make a table?
Probably, yeah. Now, write down the distance Mary plans to run each day in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th week of her training program. Okay? So, week 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the week. And the next one's going to be distance per day, yeah? So 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. Everybody happy with that? What type of sequence is that? Linear sequence. Okay? Find in terms of n, the formula gives the number of kilometers Mary plans to run each day in the n week. The nth week. Anybody know the formula? Is it in your tables? This formula? It is in your tables. It's under sequences and series. What's the A value? A value? 1.5. What's your D value?
3.
Nope.
Oh,
0.5. Multiply 0.5 by both of them. 0.5n minus 0.5. What's 1.5 minus 0.5? Huh? 1. Now, what does this do? What does that formula actually do in the context of this question? If you replace n equals 1, what's the answer? N equals 1? Tells you how much kilometers you're running in the first week. Replace n with 3. It's going to be 1 plus, it's going to be 2.5. That'll tell you how much you're running in week 3. If I replace that with 10, it'll tell me how many kilometers I'm running in the 10th week per day. That's what it does. Everybody cool with that? Now, using your formula otherwise, find the total distance that Mary plans to run in the 12th week. Well, there's a bit of a play on words there, isn't there? Well, I can tell you that T12, what does T12 stand for? T12 means how much is she going to be running per day in the 12th week. Anybody tell me the answer to that? 1 plus 0.5 times 12? She's going to be running 7 kilometers a day. But how many days does she run in a week? 12th week. How many days is she running? She runs 4 days every week, so that'll be multiplied by 4 to give you a 28 kilometer total. Everybody right with that? Okay. Given that Mary plans on running no more than 10 kilometers a day, how many weeks will it take her to reach her target? So she's not allowed to go over 10. So we can say Tn equals 10. How long does it take her to get to 10? And we can say 1 plus 0.5n equals 10. Bring the 1 out the other side. 0.5n equals 9. Divide 9 by a half. 9 divided by a half, anybody? 18. Takes her 18 weeks to get to her total. Now, if you didn't like it that way and you had a bit of time to burn in your exam, you could go back to the very start and just keep counting. You get what I'm saying? Just keep adding 0.5 over and over and over again until you get up all the way up. That's if you're desperate. Personally speaking, formula, much quicker, much faster. Are we right with that? Find the total distance Mary will have run from when she started running to the end of the week in which she reached her target distance. Find the total distance Mary will have run from Okay. Now that's interesting. Okay. So I'd write down a note on this question. I'd write down my interpretation of this question. My interpretation of this question is, how much did she run in the first week again? 1.5 kilometers. So I'd have week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way to week 18. Would you agree with that? Now, in week 1, she ran 1.5 kilometers a day. Would you agree with that? And the total would be 6. By week 18, how many kilometers did she run a day? 10 kilometers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it'll be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, and that will give me 40. I'm assuming the total distance means all this row added together. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
That row added together? Now, what I can do instead is I can get the sum of this here. See this little sequence here? 2, 2.5, dot dot dot. If I get the sum of the blue sequence and multiply it by 4, I'll get the same answer as the red one. Would you agree with that? Do I have to stop for anybody now, or do you get it? So what I'm going to do is this. I want to target what S12 is. Okay? My A value is 1.5, because you start off at 1.5. My D value is 0.5. My N value, my N value is 18, not 12. 18, yeah? Or I can just leave N out for a minute, because that's what we usually do. Now I'm going to do the SN formula. What's the SN formula? N over 2 into 2A plus N minus 1 times D. Everybody cool with that? SN. So look, might as well just put in the 18 straight away then. What's 18 divided by 2? 9 on the outside. 2 times A? 3. N minus 1? 18 minus 1? 17 times 0.5? 8.5? Yeah? 8.5. Now, then we're going to, it should be an even number. Huh? 0.5 is the part there, so it's 11.5 multiplied by 9, is it? Just one sec, guys. Oh yes, I have to multiply the whole thing by 4 when I'm done, so everything's grand. So what's 9 times 11.5?
103.5.
Huh?
103.5.
103 or 104?
3.
103.5. That means that, see this blue box here? That's 103.5. And isn't there 4 of them, isn't there? So you multiply that by 4 and what you get?
414.
414 kilometers. That's familiar, that's definitely right. Anybody get it? No? Do you remember what the SN is? Some of it? Yeah, it's a hard question, isn't it? It's difficult enough. Now, at the end of which week will Mary reach a total running distance of 500 kilometres? Where are we at the moment? We're at 414, aren't we? This is actually really easy. It's not as complicated as you think. By the end of week 18, we're at 414 kilometres, yeah? Remember we said she topped herself off at 10 kilometres a week. Or sorry, 10 kilometres a day. Remember that the question said that? That means she stops at 40 kilometres a week. So at the end of the 19th week she'd be at for that much. At the end of the 20th week, and at the start of week 21, she would finally complete her task of getting by 500. Does that make sense? It's an easy way of doing it, isn't it?
Is it okay that it's more than 500?
Yeah, you just say at the. It says
day.
at the end of which week. It'd be the end of week 21. She doesn't get 500 exactly. So she crosses it at the start of week 21, and by the end of week 21 she's on 534. Is that alright? Now, how much time do I have? Huh? 10:15, okay.
15.
Yeah, you have a phone network and you have light use versus heavy use. Light use gives you have €15 at the start, and then you have 0.10 for your minutes used. This one, it gives you €30 at the start, but then it's 0.07 for each minute used. Write down the formulas for each package to represent the total monthly bill for any given numbers, any minutes used. Please state the meaning of the letters in your formula. Would everybody agree that for the light use package, okay, we'll call it L and H. Oh, sorry. We'll just call it CL, CH. Do you understand what that means? Cost of the light package, cost of the heavy package, yeah? Now the light package costs €30 straight away. Oh, sorry, €15 straight away. Now, how much does it increase by each time you use a minute? Isn't it 10 cents a minute? Would you agree with that? 10 cents a minute? Is everybody happy with that formula? Dennis, you happy with that formula?
Yes, sir.
Now, this means you plug in a value for m. If I said I use 10 minutes, you multiply 10 by 0.1, and it gives you the grand total of how much it cost you. Everybody cool with that? Now, the other thing I want you to make you abundantly aware of is y equals mx plus c. Yeah? I can rewrite this equation here as y equals, I'm going to rewrite this equation as CL equals 0.10 m plus 15. Look how it mimics y equals m. Oh, m was a poor choice. Can I change m to t? So t represents the amount of minutes we used. Is that okay? Just to avoid having two m's because I don't want to confuse you. Now, the m in this formula refers to what? What does the m in that formula refer to? Slope. So this is your slope. It goes up 0.1 every time. What does your c-intercept refer to? C is where you cross the y-axis. So that's going to be €15 when you cross the y-axis. Do you agree with that? Okay. Now likewise, if I do the next one in a similar vein, what I can say is that it's a charge of 30 minutes at the start and its slope is 0.07 t. That makes sense? Now, just want to show you something. I'm just going to skip straight to the diagram question. Just want to go straight for the diagram question. Actually, well, I'll fill the table out first, I suppose. Probably the best bet. Fill the table, then go for the diagram. Now, you have to write down what everything means. CL represents the cost of the light package. CH represents the cost of the heavy package. T represents time represented in minutes. That's all you have to write down. Now let's write down our 0. 0 time costs you how much? 15 for the light and 30 for the heavy. 100 minutes used. What's 100 multiplied by 0.1?
Okay.
0.10 is the same thing as 0.1. Anybody know?
10.
So it's 10. So 15 plus 10? 25. And the other one's going to be plus 7, which is 37. The next 100 after that? 35 and 44. Then after that, 45, 55, and 51 and 58. Does everybody get that? No need for anything else there? Now, what I'm going to do next is, I'll just take this here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is put that, bring it, just want to just draw this straight away. Okay, so there's 2 of them. Okay, and I'm going to draw them both. So let me move it down here. Okay, so we're going to start off with the light package in blue. What's the light package? 0, 15, yeah? 0, 15. Is there a cheat I can do here? It's a straight line, isn't it? Isn't the slope always the same? So what can I do here? Do the first point and the last point. So go to 40 and 55. Where's 40, 55 located? 400 and then 55 is going to be there, yeah? And just join them together. Blue is the light package. And then just to be sure, just dot in your other numbers. Really easy. 100 was here. 200 was there. 300 was there. 400. Everybody cool with that? And what about the red one? The heavy package. 0, 30. Happy with that? And then after that, what happens? We're going to 0, 30. And then the last one is 450, then 58. 58 would be, oh wait a second. Sorry guys, I didn't do 55, perfect. Oh no, wait, I did. 55 was perfect, great. 58 would be 52, 54, 56, 58. 58 would be located there. So that's the red line there. So now I just have to join the those two together. Now, what can you tell me? What can you tell me? What's happening between the light and the heavy use? What's going on here regarding your costs? Originally, the gap between the light and the heavy. What's the difference between their costs? One of them was at €15. The other one was at €30. There's €15 in the difference, yeah. But by the very end of the question, how much distance is there between them? 3. That would mean that one of them's going to overtake the other one. Yeah? So eventually that's going to happen. One of them's going to overtake the other one. Now, let me bring back the equation of a line. So what I'm really after is this formula here. So I'll just drag this up. Just want to explain how this ties in. So, what I was telling you earlier was that these formulas are quite relevant, the y equals mx plus c formula, and they're very fond of this type of question. So, what we had earlier was, remember I was telling you about these slopes and the c values. So, y equals mx plus c. Okay, the blue line is the one, that started off at 15. It has a slope of, anybody? It has a slope of 0.10. The other one has a slope of 0.07. That's why the one with the 0.1 slope is steeper than the one with the 0.07. Is that alright? if you were to do the coordinate geometry formula and take you get this point here and this point here, do the slope formula, you should get 0.07. Now, next thing is, where did they intersect the y-axis? Remember I was telling you about your c values earlier, 15 and 30. There they are there. Intercepts at 30, intercepts at 15. Y equals mx plus c explains a lot of stuff here. Okay? You can solve where the two of them are equal to each other. What two ways? You can do a simultaneous equation, or you have plan B, is that you extend the lines beyond where they currently are. So as an example, if I extend this line a bit further along, like so, extend the second line a bit further along like so. Can you see the point of intersection?
Yes.
Around here somewhere, isn't it? So what we're saying is both accounts will come equal when what happens? How many minutes are we going to be using? Roughly 470 minutes. And how much will both of them cost at the time? About €64.
64.
Do you think that's accurate? But what happens if I made a drawing mistake? What happens if I'm one little angle off? That shows off your results, right? So look, we're currently expecting something like 470 and 64 to be our answer. Something around there, okay? Now let's try it another way. I already did that earlier. I'll just get it back here. Okay, that's it there, yeah? Now, on the opposite page, draw a graph of the total cost. We did that already. State whether the light use package will always be cheaper than the heavy use package. Justify your answer. The light use package will not always be cheaper than the heavy use package because it has a steeper slope. It will eventually catch its rate per minute is more expensive. It will eventually overtake the heavy use package. Everybody agreed with that? Now, what happens after that then? Use your graph to estimate the points at which both of them will be the same. Where are both of them the same again? 470 and 64. What does that mean? 470 minutes use, cost of €64. Verify your answer using your formula. How do you verify your answer using your formula? What two formula are we talking about? Well, we're talking about when the cost of the heavy package equals the cost of the light package. So when does the cost of the heavy package equal the cost of the light package? It's when this formula here equals this formula here. When CL, cost of the light package, equals CH, cost of the heavy package. 0.1t, or 0.01t, plus 15 equals 0.07t plus 30. Bring the t's over one side and bring the numbers over the other side. So we're going to have 0.1t minus 0.03t equals 30 minus 15, which is 15. 0.07t equals 15. T equals 15 divided by 0.07, guys. What's 15 divided by 0.07? 214 minutes. And what did we have as our answer?
I just put it in calculator.
Huh?
I got 21.4. Yeah, same.
15 divided by?
I used
Oh, sorry, 0.03. My fault. 0.03, not 0.07. 0.03. 15 divided by 0.03? 500 minutes. So, safe to say our graph was very much off. I drew it slightly wrong. Okay, it was 500 minutes. So if I go back to my graph and I try and have a re-evaluation of it, did I deviate slightly off my two lines? The blue one doesn't look good if I'm honest. So let's try this again. Start here, stay on the blue line as much as I can. Bring it up that way. Let's see what way it happens this time. The intersection is a bit further over than last time. The intersection actually occurred over here. And what happens when I drop this straight down? What's it going to be looking at? Hopefully a lot closer to 500. There we are. See that little tiny mistake I made? Put me out 30 minutes. Everybody get that? Now finally, we solved that, we verified that it's t equals 500 minutes. Which one's more accurate, the algebra or the graph? Algebra doesn't have tiny little graphing errors. So that's what's done.